Hey, welcome back to our podcast, Project Brightside, where we always look on the bright side, even when things are looking pretty dark. I'm Dr. Shelby.
And I'm Richard Brito, and we're your hosts for today's episode.
Topics of discussion for our podcast include society and culture, education, and TV and film.
Each episode of season 2 will have an interview of a guest speaker, followed by a Bright Talk segment where we discuss a complicated topic in hopes of shining light on it. So, for today's episode, we're going to be interviewing Lucas Holm, a rising Miami-based artist and producer. So, welcome to our show. How are you doing today, man?
Yo, what's good, everybody? I'm doing good. I just want to thank you guys so much for having me on here, and yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about some stuff.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. So, I love your music so much, and I'm really excited to have you on our show. So, with that said, let's get started. So, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and your interests professionally.
I go by the artist name Lucas Home from Miami, Florida. I've been making music for a pretty long time now. I'd say like close to 8 years that I've been doing this. But as Lucas Home, only a couple, like maybe 3 years. So I
Nice.
mean, I just enjoy everything that there is about making music, whether it's like being in the studio or performing or just like the ecosystem in general, like the people that you meet, the energy exchanges, whether you're at an event or like I said in the studio or honestly just like showing somebody your music or listening to somebody else's. I really enjoy that. I always knew that I wanted to do something creative for my job. When I was younger, I wasn't quite sure what it would end up being. I think at some point I wanted to be like a fashion designer, and then it was like a film director, and then at some point it ended up being this, like music. So there was nothing that gave me the same feeling that this does. So that's why I do this.
I love it. I love your whys, and honestly, I could see it all together for you. Like you are so talented, like artistically, with editing and you could rap. Your fashion style is really cool. So you can maybe like whip out some outfits, make them your own. Like you could still do that and build your own style. And you have been doing that, and I love that about your artistry. So good work.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's awesome. And I know that it takes a lot of work to get where you're at right now. What are some of the day-to-day obstacles that you have faced and have you overcome them?
I mean, day-to-day stuff, I mean, it's really just like funny enough now it's because I'm kind of busy. Like I'm kind of a busy dude now. So it's I guess just making sure like what I really need is I need like an assistant and like schedules and stuff. But when it comes down to it with the music stuff, I think for most artists, if you're doing it as a job, it's really more just like making sure that you're focused, keeping it as like your top priority is kind of like I don't know, like this is just for me. Like this is how it works for me, maybe not for everybody. It's easy to get distracted. I feel like a lot of people do music as a job or like an entertainment or like do something in the entertainment industry as a job for some form of validation, whether it's attention or like seeing your work in a physical, three-dimensional, like fully completed form.
Mhm.
That it's like, I mean, I'm trying to put this into words the right way, but it's almost like understanding the fact that if you actually go and complete the work and do the things that you want to do, you will find that validation. Like it'll come. Whereas, whatever, if it's Friday night and I'm bored, I'm like, oh, let me go hang out with my friends and go out. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's a quick way to fill the void, or you could do the longer route, which is like do the work, make sure it gets done, and then when you put it out, then you get the validation. And I think that somehow if I could fit that into like one sentence, that would be like a real day-to-day challenge being an artist, like just not getting distracted, like remembering why you started this, remembering why you're doing it, keeping in mind that it's all worth it at the end of the day, that it truly is all worth it. And I think that that's like really just the for me that would be like my main challenge mentally, just reminding myself that it is all worth it, and it is the thing that truly provides me validation, truly provides me fulfillment, fills the void, or that like whatever void is there with me, like that's what it really is. And I just, man, I forget sometimes. I really do. Like I just forget that sometimes. So try to keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's what really wise. Like I really love how your songs to me, they're very therapeutic. I feel like you let your fans like really understand your headspace, where you're coming from, and like the lessons that you've learned and how you're sharing it. And the artistry is just so like put together, and it really just show that you put time and energy not only into like the audio, the producing, like the visuals, like the editing. It really does feel like this is your passion, and I love how organic you are, like in the sense of like you're so natural with your personality and what you want to put out and what your vision is. And I respect that. So thank you for sharing that. So I do want to ask, amongst like the music industry and like wanting to do music, what would you say is something that like drives you to continue to do it? Like what is your why, I feel? Like is what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, briefly, like my why is really just like I kind of just sometimes I don't even say things anymore because I know that it would be easier for me to put it in a song because when the song plays, people are going to listen. Like they're going to hear me out and they're going to see what I mean. And not only that, but they're actually going to be able to like take those words and twist it into their own like personal experience or like their own, not twist it, but like mold it
Hmm.
like into their own life and how they feel. And like I could write a lyric and it can mean something else to somebody else. But aside from that, like on a personal level, it's like I said, it's like the fulfillment that it brings me because it's like I've done like video, like I mean, I do video editing, I edit my own videos, I do all these things, and there is like a certain aspect of fulfillment that doing those things brings me, but it's like there's nothing like it, you know, like when you're in the studio and you create like a new sound or like a new song or and it sounds just not even that it sounds just how you wanted it to come out, but it sounds better like than you
Hmm.
even pictured it in your mind. Like there's nothing like whatever chemical is like being released in my brain like at that moment or
I
whatever the
love
case
that.
may be, like that's why I do it. Like when I get that feeling of like, you know, I've been making this joke to people a lot lately that like at least once a day nowadays I will like comically like clench my fist and like punch the air because I'm like excited about like what I'm doing and how things are going for me, that I have these like cartoonishly exciting moments to myself where I'm just like, you know, I'm telling myself like, damn, like good job or yes. I'm basically giving myself a pat on the back every day
Good.
because I'm proud of myself and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So it's just those feelings like they feel great. You know, obviously like on a more material like level, like you know, seeing your name on the playlist and the things and the people like seeing like your name like thrown around in like a very positive light and people like rooting for you, all that stuff, like that stuff is awesome too for sure. And it helps me, like how you said, like what helps you like keep going, like what are you looking for, like that definitely helps. You know, I don't know. I would like to believe that, yeah, like I said, it's really deep down because it's like you could get lost in that. You know, you could get lost in the attention. It's really like I said, it's really more just like the actual like making the songs and just like what I don't know, and then it's there forever. Like that song is there forever. So you get that out of that too.
Really well-rounded, man. I'm really proud of you.
That's awesome. It sounds like it's been an exciting year so far. What do you feel like a few of your biggest priorities are for 2025?
Yeah, I mean, one, like I said, just not getting distracted. Two, just like trying my best to like stay center, not like let my ego get overinflated, just kind of like stay me,
Yeah.
whatever that means, like whenever, wherever I'm at, whatever point of life that I am at, whatever that means to me, like just to like stay me and just keep trying, like keep working. Like I'm really like putting the hammer and the nail to the not getting distracted thing because it's just I've been in like really low places in life and I've been really far away from my goals. Even though I'm not that far away, it feels like I am because I'm mentally in a different place. So it's like I've let myself mentally shift around like all of these different areas and all these coordinates. And I feel like when I'm truly on my purpose and like aligned like with it and like my words are congruent with my actions and I'm just doing the thing, like everything is just falling into place. Like you have these moments where everything is falling into place and it's not even really a product of how good you are. It's more of a product of how like locked in you are and just how much it like I'm trying to put this correctly too, that it's almost like you're just focused, like you're just very focused. So it's even nowadays, it's like I'll have these incredible moments in my life. It's almost like I expected it because I'm like, yeah, man, like I'm working hard, I'm doing all the things, I'm crossing my T's, I'm dotting my I's. Like, why wouldn't this happen to me? Like, you know, like why wouldn't I be like having these successful moments and these big strides? Because it's like I'm doing the work. It's not work like, oh, I have to clock in 9 to 5. Like, damn, this sucks type of work. But it's like, again, it's just staying focused, not getting distracted. It's really, really, really easy to get distracted. And I think that that is really just for most people, that is what most people struggle with, just staying focused. So that's really like to like on my docket, like for 2025, it's just staying focused and not in the way where I'm like obsessed either. Like not
Yeah.
in this like, oh, I'm obsessed with it. It's not like that. It's really more like I said, that it's really just like be the truest version of myself and stay focused on that.
Yeah, great answers. I think that's very healthy. You're protecting your inner circle, so they're gonna want to be a part of your life, but it might not be the best intentions. So you definitely got to protect yourself. You definitely got to focus on what matters to you. I did want to ask, so what would you say are some of your biggest like dreams that you would want to see happen within the next 5 years? I know we're just some broad ideas of like what you've dreamt about doing and you could
Yeah.
see happening.
I mean, at this point, like, God, man, it's crazy. I feel like sky is like the next galaxy over is the limit at this point. Like how people say like the sky is the limit. Like I really feel like you never know like where the day will take you, and really your life can change in one day. The way that this shit goes, it's like you could be doing this podcast today and then playing Jimmy Fallon like on Friday. You know, it's like you just don't know. Like you just don't know. I'm serious though.
Yeah,
It's like
no, no, I believe
yeah,
you.
yeah,
I
yeah.
agree. I agree.
You don't know. So it's like when the things go that way, because it's like, bro, I can sit here and say, oh, I want to win 10 Grammys and sell out Madison Square Garden. You know what I'm saying? I can say all these things, but it's like I'm sure that that'll happen when it's supposed to. Like I don't want to rush moments in my into my life just to say that I did something. I want them to happen at the right time so that like so that it's an honest experience in my life, and I'm not just like basically I'm 25 right now. I don't want to be like 27 and like have done everything like that I could have possibly done. And if that's how it goes, okay, I'll find some new stuff to do. Like I'll find new things to do and I'll find out new things about the world that I didn't know before. But like I said, I think when you're a younger artist, it's really easy to like have these big eyes and just kind of like want to do everything and win all the awards and play all the shows. But it's like at the end of the day, like that, you get to a point where you get so comfortable that you know that that's gonna come at some point. For the next 5 years, I mean, we'll just see what happens. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I don't know. I'm just happy to be here.
No, that's
Type.
awesome. I
Yeah.
love the energy and man, like when I tell you this, it's not to like hype you up. The way that you're approaching this, like the artistry, the music, the passion, the love, the positivity, I love that. And that's how artists should pursue it because it could get so toxic and it could really turn into like obsessive or and really cloud like your why and you've remained true to that. And that in itself is an accomplishment. And when you say talk about Grammys, like you have the talent to back it up. You just have to keep going. And I know that you have the mindset to do it and just keep going, man. I'm excited to whenever this is like published and like to look forward in the future and like look back and be like, man, we talked about this. Like I'm excited to see what your future holds. So you already talked about, a lot about advice of like what people should do if they're trying to pursue a career like yours. So you kind of answered our next question, but just to like random pivot, what would be one book, TV show, podcast, or music that like outside of ours that you think everyone should experience? Like, what's your go-to artists and stuff like that, or music or TV show?
Yeah, it's actually a really good question. I mean, really for me, it's like I did have like a brief stint with like self-improvement, like for a while there. Well, I mean, I still do it every day, but like I had this whole like super face value stint with self-improvement where I was like, learning about like the law of attraction, like spiritual stuff, well, stuff that people would
Mm-hmm.
consider spiritual stuff when now that it's been so long for me that I've been like kind of following these things that it's not even spiritual to me anymore. It's more just like human nature. I had read this book called Ask and It Is Given. I read that book. It's kind of similar to The Secret. That book kind of changed my life a little bit, but it was funny because when I read it, I was like, damn, this is so cool because it was kind of like opening up this idea of like that if I kind of just ask for something, it'll come my way. But it also was like a gateway for me to also read things like for example like read a self-improvement book and also disagree with some of the things that they were talking about in there.
Yeah.
So it was like I started to cherry pick things because this question is this the way that I answer this is going to be kind of funny, but it's almost like I feel like if you're in the pursuit of knowledge, go do it. Like go like go watch that podcast and go read that book and go read the freaking 48 Laws of Power or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like read all the books and do all the things, but just always remember that like you have like this is gonna sound kind of funny, but it's almost like you have like a soul, like or
Mm-hmm.
you have like a spirit. So it's like don't forget that like there is like a piece of you that will always be right, and there will be a piece of you that like no one else will ever understand. So it's like if you're reading these, basically I'm saying like cherry pick information, like take advice that means something to you, but it's okay to kind of like learn something from someone and kind of disagree with it and put your own spin on it. So it's like for me, if you're in the pursuit of knowledge, ask questions for
Yeah.
sure. But
Yeah.
also remember at the end of the day that like nobody knows what's better for you than yourself. That's almost like I know that's a funny answer. It's kind of like broken up in a weird way. I'm basically saying like believe in yourself. Like don't be afraid to go out there and learn and get your feet wet, but like always believe in yourself and always like understand whatever that like guide is telling you. There's always that little voice in your head that's telling you it can be so nuanced or it can be loud and clear, but if there's like that little voice in your mind that's telling you, "Oh, like this isn't quite right," or "Oh, I don't really think that this is for me." Some would call that your intuition, but like I think it's a little bit deeper than that. I think that no matter what, like somewhere deep down inside, that there's something there that's right. Like whether it's actually your intuition that's right, or it's the fact that you're feeling insecure, so you're scared, or whatever the case may be. So I think that that's kind of like, don't go looking for answers because you feel like you need them. Go looking for answers because you are curious. And I
Yeah.
think that that's like kind of what I'm trying to say here. So it's like with books and movies and TV. Funny enough, I'm not really a big consumer of stuff like that, but I like I said, I had a brief stint of like reading a lot of books and like watching podcasts and doing all that stuff like self-improvement, like magnetism, like law of attraction, all that stuff. Like I did like have like a moment where I was into that stuff, but I would say that that was probably like 2 or 3 years ago. I've kind of keep it real simple nowadays. I kind of just believe that everything that's happening is meant to be the way that it's meant to be, and that everything will kind of work itself out. So that's kind of how I move.
You mentioned a lot of stuff that's rooted in good mental health practices. I don't know if it's your personality type or if it's the stuff that you've consumed, that you were just talking about, or it's a mix of both, but you really are practicing like things that like could elevate you forward to this self-actualization. I keep bringing this up because it's something super important that we should all aspire to, but your whys are like rooted in positive mental health practices like be curiosity. Curiosity is rooted in some sort of innocence. And what you're talking about with like spirituality and having that connection, that relationship with like a higher belief or having that like automatically like you are more likely to be happier, more likely to not experience depression, more likely to actually achieve your goals and to be involved in activities that bring you joy. So like whatever the whatever the combination it is, I'm not trying to psychoanalyze you, but great work.
Yeah, thank you.
Um,
I'm still learning. Honestly, another author though, an author that I really do like is this guy, man. What's his name? The dude who wrote the Four Agreements. It's like something Ruiz, like Miguel Ruiz, or I don't remember his name. But that book was really good too, the
Yeah, we
Four
talked
Agreements.
about the four agreements on this podcast prior.
Yeah,
It's a
that book
really,
was
really good book.
yeah, that author, the author who wrote that, because that those books are about like the Toltec way or whatever, the Toltec religion, or I'm not sure if it's a religion or like a way of life, but those books are really good. Like I would like how you had like just to touch on that original question, that I do think those books are really good. I revisit them every once in a while.
Yeah, yeah, and they could have a really good like impact to us in a certain time and then reflect back and it's like, whoa, it has just as much meaning or something that didn't have meaning to us back then, we revisit it and it actually does have meaning now. So it's always good to
Definitely.
reflect and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did look it up. You were right. It's Don Miguel Ruiz for people listening.
Nice.
So, for our next segment, Bright Talk, where we discuss complicated topics in hopes of shining light on the matter, this week we'll be discussing navigating the music industry as a rising artist and producer based in Miami. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and start with our first question for this part of the podcast, our Bright Talk topic. Tell us about when you first decided that you wanted to pursue the music field and describe a little bit about the journey that you had entering the music industry.
Man, I'm gonna try to keep this as short as I can because it's gonna be something. But I mean, really, honestly, when I was younger, like probably 17 years old, like a senior in high school, I had always like jokingly freestyle rap with my friends, and like I would write songs sometimes, which now that I look back at it was definitely a sign like of
hmm
something. I don't know, but to me, for I don't know, it's like I feel like back then, this is gonna be kind of like a meta thing to say, but I feel like back then when we were younger, it was like we could do things like, for example, like you could be in high school and rap and like actively be like rapping for your friends and writing songs, and it wasn't like that didn't mean that I would have to go off and become a rapper now. And it was the same thing with like, whereas I feel like nowadays everything is like sensationalized. Everybody wants to capitalize on their talents, which I think is great. Like, by the way, like I don't think that that's a bad thing. But so I didn't really think much of it. Like back then, I would like write raps with my friends and I would freestyle and stuff, but I never really thought that it was like a sign that I should go off and become a rapper until I was about to graduate high school, and I just like didn't know what to do. And I remember, whatever, I'm from Miami, so I was thinking, oh, I'm just gonna become a real estate agent or something like that. I started to have like honest conversations with myself because I had known that I always wanted to do something like creative. I just didn't know what, like I had said earlier. And I remember one night, whatever, I'm writing this song in my room. I just remember really feeling like, that meme that you see on the internet where people are like, oh, like at that three, that feeling at 3 in the morning when you like want to like do your life or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those nights where I was like, bro, like I could really do this. Like I could really become a rapper. And I woke up the next day and I went to school and I was like, nah, man, like what was I thinking? Like, I don't know, I'm tripping. Like, I'm not gonna become a rapper. I don't know. At some point though, it found me. Like I remember I linked up with one of my boys and I was freestyling with him in his car. and he was like, "Oh, I don't really freestyle, but I write songs. Like, let me like rap something for you. Like, let me like rap something that I wrote for you." I was like, "All right." So whatever. This kid who honestly to this day is still one of my really close friends. His name is Kevin Vale. He shoots all my videos for me. Obviously, I direct them and I edit them and stuff, but
That's
he's the one
awesome.
who's holding the camera. So Kevin goes ahead, he hits his rap for me. I'm telling you, up until this point in my life, this is literally the greatest rap that anybody has ever like done for me. Like he's like rapping the song that he wrote to me, and in my mind, it's like incredible, like the best thing I've ever heard. And that kind of inspired me to start writing like seriously and like take it seriously. Cause I was just looking at this kid like, damn, like I want to be like this. Like I want to be able to write songs like this too. So I wrote every day with Kevin for like a long time. Yeah, and then I just kind of kept at it. I just kind of kept at writing, and then eventually, at a certain point, you know, you want to record your first song. So I went off and I recorded my first song, and then I did one more. I recorded my first song, which was like a demo, and then when I went to record my first song to drop, I actually went to my friend Bradley Gagne's house, who is my producer to this day, who's the manager of
Nice.
Sentient Sound Studio. So whatever. I actually made my first song with the dude who is producing all my stuff to this day.
That's
Brad, I
awesome.
went to high school with him. Brad said I gave him $20 to do that studio session, and he hopped on it too. And we put that song out. That was the first song I ever put out. It was called The Cure. And when I put that song out on SoundCloud, it didn't blow up or anything, but it definitely got like received well. And after that, I was like, man, like I'm gonna just do this. Like I'm gonna just do this. Like this is just what I'm gonna do. And then years and years later, I am where I am now. But there was a lot of like failure, and like I rebranded at some point because I wasn't always Lucas Home. I used to have a different artist name. There was a lot of like hard times, and I don't think I ever like doubted myself, like in the sense that I thought that I wouldn't make it. But there was a point in my life that I thought to myself, like damn, like is this what people mean when they say, oh, that it's hard to make it in the music industry or not everybody makes it? I definitely had like a period of time in my life like that where I was like kind of like, huh. Kind of funny enough, I would almost go as far as to say that when I rebranded as Lucas Home, that this was, I'm thinking maybe in my mind that this was kind of like, oh, if this doesn't pop off, then like maybe this really isn't for me. And then here I am now, like, and it did pop off for me, and I guess it is.
Yeah.
I guess it is for me.
Yes, it
So
definitely is for sure. I love how personal it is for you. How you started off with friends, how that's probably like why you're so passionate because not only were you able to express yourself, you were also able to share that moment with others and have that support system. So I do want to ask this. So aside from the personability of like your starting process, are there any other musical artists that have inspired you to rap?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Like, obviously, a lot of rappers that I listened to, like growing up. I mean, funny enough, like I used to get compared to Logic a lot back in the day
I could see that. Yeah.
I listened to him a lot back in the day, and he was like a big idol for me. Not that he's not my idol anymore, but like, obviously, I've kind of grown up a little bit. I don't really look at other rappers like that so much anymore, but definitely he was like a big, like I just remember Logic when he was younger, he was like some dude from the hood, and he was just like, bro, I made it. Like I made it rapping, like you can too. And there was like something about that to me that was like so cool and endearing, and probably the same thing that people feel about me like now. Like, but I felt that way about him, and it definitely inspired me. There's another artist named Felly who a lot of people don't really know because he's a little bit underground, but I'm a big fan of Felly. I got to meet him like not that long ago, which I thought was super cool. He's always been like a huge inspiration to me because he's just the epitome of like an independent artist that made it happen for himself. So there's definitely artists out there that are like, you know, basically funny enough, like that the same way that I'm sure a lot of people feel about me, like I had those artists for me too. Like back in the day that I was like, oh, I want to be like him, or I want to be like him, or he inspired me, or she inspired me, or whatever the case may be. If I were to list them all though, it would take forever because there's so many. Like there's just so many artists that I like. I'm at a point now where I just get inspired by like life. Like I'll see like a caterpillar like building a nest and I'm like, damn, like that's so creative.
That's awesome, man. And I don't know if I ever told you this, but for me personally, you've inspired me. Like I have a band called The Survivalists, and it's Luke, me, and Jake, and I just do songwriting. So like that's all I've ever done. But I want to get into singing, but like the rapping has always been like something that like if I were to say like an artist that I look up to, I would be like, okay, it's Lucas Home. Like I look up to you because like
That's
you
fire,
really
man. That's
are
awesome.
talented. Like you full package for artists. Like good job, man, for a
Yeah,
human
it's
being.
crazy, man. I jokingly said this to somebody the other day, but like I wasn't always like that. Like I didn't know it. Like people, like I get that a lot nowadays, and some girl came up to me like at some event like not that long ago, and she was like, "Oh, like you're just so cool." And I was like, "I'm glad," because like I was not always like this. Like I was not always like I don't know, like I wasn't always like I guess like this type of person. I definitely had to get through the growing pains and all the things too.
Yeah, and
So
and it's a journey. Like failure is always going to be a part of life, and the way to overcome failure is to keep going. So like getting past that failure into that success. So, you have to overcome that to be able to get to the success, and you have
yeah,
done that.
definitely,
So,
definitely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, and just let go. I think letting go
yeah.
was like my main thing. There was one day that I just finally let go of like everything. Like honestly, like every little thing. I was just like, man, you know what? Like I'm gonna just do this, and whatever happens, happens. And I think that's enough for me. And I think that that was around the time that I started to like actually see like real success. And ever since then, I've just kind of kept that up, like that mindset up.
Yeah, yeah, great advice for sure. Because it removes those barriers that you have in your head, and it's like, no, I'm gonna go and do this, and I'm just gonna like see what happens. Are there any other genres that like spark your interest?
Oh, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, I tell people a lot, like I just listen to good music. Like I listen to like good music. Like I just like music that's good. Actually, I really don't listen to rap as much as I used to nowadays. And even as a kid, I wasn't really like a huge rap guy. I got into rap when I was like 16, like 15, 16, 17 years old. That was like when I really got into it. But yeah, I mean, I really like alternative music. I like indie stuff, whether it's indie rap or like alternative indie stuff or like indie pop music or just anything that's kind of just like soft on the ears. Like I like stuff like that. So it's just like I love like singer-songwriter stuff too. Like I love that type of music. I love like instrumental stuff too that's like complex and just like chill or whatever the case may be. I like jazz music. So it's like there's definitely I think the whole thing with the soft on the ears thing, like I like that. And I think that kind of translates into my music a little bit too with some of these like samples that I use, whether it's like a Rhodes piano or something that sounds almost like elevator music, but then I add like the rap drums and stuff to it later on. I like chill music, like I like that type of stuff. But I mean, again, like I said, it could be anything. It could literally be anything, and as long as it sounds good to me, then I'm gonna like it. Like I'm gonna like that type of music.
I'm glad that you don't box yourself in, that like you're open to opportunities. You're not just like one type of genre, like you're really just open. So good for you. So I do want to ask, and I'm really curious for this question. So you're a cast member playing yourself, Lucas Holm, in our Morally Gray show. So what do you look forward to most with this show? So I know we've been working on the prototypes and we've been launching pieces of the prototypes until we have the full pilot, but from that, like what would you like to see from the show?
I mean, definitely for like from a personal standpoint, I
Mm-hmm.
just think it would be cool to like see myself attached to something that's bigger than just like Lucas Holmes. Let's say whatever I make a record for the show, it'll be for the official soundtrack of something, and I think that's really cool. And I think that not only that, but it just, it kind of allows like a new demographic to like seep in, and it allows me to like have a moment where I get to be a bit of a public figure and kind of speak on something. I think that's cool because I know for a lot of artists it's easier to just keep it tucked. But yeah, and just also looking forward to stepping into something else and just doing something a little bit different like this time around, whether it's with the music or with some type of voice acting or whatever the case may be. I'm looking forward to that, just being doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, and I definitely love your creativity because you suggested something, like you're definitely getting a producer credit because you suggested something for the plot line and the storyline of how you want your music video and all of that to, be introduced, and you wanted to play with like the cartoon and live, and I don't know if you want to keep that a secret, we could cut it off if not, but I
No, I
I
mean it's
I
all good. It's all good.
I really love that. I'm really looking forward to like the transitions that you'll share. Like I just know that your creativity is really gonna dive deep into Morley Gray,
Yeah,
and
no,
I
trust me.
love
Once
that.
once I get my hands on it, you'll see I'm a little bit different when I get to work. So like you'll see that you'll see like how I work and stuff too, and that'll be cool. So it's just
Yeah.
like yeah, so it's just I am a little bit like it's funny because I act really calm and chill, but like you'll see like when I get to work, I am a little bit more like I'm a hands-on person. I'm definitely hands-on. So I'm looking forward to that and just
I'm
collaborating.
excited. Yeah.
Collaborating too, because I really haven't done a lot of that lately, collaborating. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to bond and create something and see what comes out from it.
what kind of plot lines would you like to see musically and visually? And I know we just talked that there are some in the works already, but if there are any other ideas.
Like some teasers you might want to share or something that might come up to mind that we might want to pursue.
I have an answer for the question, but it's almost like at the same time, like I know that whatever answer I give, it's gonna change because I'm gonna start working on it, and then someone's gonna click, and then I'm gonna be like, you know what? Forget this. Like, I want to do that. So it's like I need to like not put my hands on it, but it's like I want to see because obviously I want to touch. I like my whole thing with the way that I do music and the way that I am as an artist is that I don't like to be like too on the nose about anything that I do. Like I don't want to be because at that point I feel like I may be coming across as like preachy.
Mhm.
So it's like I definitely want to see how like I can, you know, attack some of these topics, whether it's mental health or inward or outward, like mental health topics, like whether it's like you dealing with yourself or you dealing with the world around you. Like I would like to be able to get to those topics in a clever way that's relatable to like, you know, like a new audience. So that's like the whole thing. I just got to figure out how I'm going to do it, which maybe at this point I would be saying too much, but I don't really don't care is like I'm very much, I don't really like to talk a lot about what I'm doing or like how I'm going to do it. I like to just kind of do it. Like that's my whole thing. Like I don't really plan a lot of things. I kind of just start and then I see where it takes me.
That's great advice, actually, that I'm r really trying to implement in my life now because I'm the same way actually. Like I might start off like doing something and then I might just want to pivot and completely scrap it and turn that into something else and
Yeah,
then
and
go
that's
back
fine.
to the
That's
idea.
okay.
Yeah.
That's okay, and that's how things
Yeah.
go. I mean, even for me, and I'm sure that as at a certain point, you know, obviously not to get too off topic with this point that I'm about to make, but
Hmm.
I feel like people feel the need to like overly put things in place before they do stuff, and it's like even for me, it's like we'll storyboard our videos and stuff like our music videos, but usually like when we get to shooting like whatever the camera's out and we see a certain angle and we're like, dude, let's do this instead or let's do that instead. And I feel like a lot of that other stuff that's like storyboarding and thising and thatting, it's either a that there's like 125 people working on a project or more, there's like legitimately like a due process there, or b it's like that there's when there's like a lot of money being thrown around and time and schedules and stuff, like that's the only way that it can be done. Like that
Yeah.
it's like basically funny enough, even being a professional, it's really not how good you are at something. It's like how good you are under pressure. Like that's like
Hmm.
really what being a professional is. It's not so much like, oh, I was able to do this. It's like, oh, I was able to do this while people were expecting it from me like every day for like 10 years or whatever, like the case may be. So I see that like that's how I see like music and stuff now too, that it's like not everything I do is my absolute best work, but it was the best that I could do with the time that I had.
Yeah, and that's what matters. That's what matters, and that is rooted in growth. And that's your artistry. That's just like your brand. And I love that. So thank you so much, man. It has been such a wonderful conversation and just all around experience.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much. I mean, for having me on and just hearing me out and good questions, honestly, very good questions.
Thank you, appreciate it. So that's it for episode 9 of season 2 of Project Brightside. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting us. Make sure to recommend our podcast to your friends and family and keep sharing. So we have a lot more in the works for the rest of season 2. Until next time, take care.
Episode 9 of Season 2 of Project Brightside was executive produced by Richard Brito, Luke Curiosity, Shelby Flohr, Zoe Rushetsky, John Scrivenich, Jay Curiosity, Sofia Paez, and Andres Gil Arana. Music by Jay Curiosity. Edited by Luke Curiosity and Richard Brito. Researched by our research associate, Margaret Lee. And a special thanks to Lucas Home.